Good morning, everybody. Heather here again with another reading from Almost Everything Notes on Hope by Lamont. I love her for her genuine honesty and authenticity. So, this is called Humans 101, Chapter 3. Almost everyone is screwed up, broken, clingy, scared, and yet designed for joy. Even, or especially so, those who seem to have it more or less together are more like the rest of us than you would believe. I try not to compare my insides to their outsides because this makes me much worse than I already am. And if I get to know them, they turn out to have plenty of irritability and shadow of their own. Besides, those few people who aren't a mess are probably good for about 20 minutes of dinner conversation. This is good news. That almost everyone is petty, narcissistic, secretly insecure, and in it for themselves, because a few of the funny ones may actually long to be friends with you and me. They can be real with us. The greatest relief. As we develop love, appreciation, and forgiveness for others over time, we may accidentally develop those things towards ourselves too. While you might think it's a trick, having affection for one's goofy, crabby, annoying, lovely self is home. This has been my meager salvation. That we are designed for joy is exhilarating, within reach, now or perhaps later today, like after a nap. As long as we do not mistake excitement for joy. Joy is good cheer. My partner says joy and curiosity are the same thing. Joy is always a surprise and often a decision. Joy is portable. Joy is a habit. And these days, it can be a radical act. Buffy St. Marie said, "Keep your nose to the joy trail." Keep your nose to the joy trail. So for now, let's define joy as a slightly giddy appreciation, an inquisitive stirring, as when you see the first crocuses, the earliest struggling, stunted emergence of color in late winter, cream or gold against the tans and browns. To have a few amazing friends on this side of eternity, this sometimes grotesque amusement park, is the greatest joy. As St. Bet sang in the bathhouses, you gotta have friends. We cannot depend solely on spouses to dump on, to share our intimate thoughts with, or reveal our deepest truths to. Trust me, they have been through enough just living with us. Our yokes are heavy. Healthy people need to unburden sometimes unpleasant feelings and information such as hating everything about life and hating everyone on earth, and hoping that the bad people are killed by snakes or that they just ate all the frosting off a Safeway carrot cake because they were feeling fragile. It is very normal, and in fact, increasingly so, for anyone in their right mind to feel or do these things, and so therapeutic to tell the miserable truth. Everyone is capable of making at least one friend, even the worst of your relatives or the crabby neighbor down the street. We all know someone who is really pretty awful in every way, yet who has managed to find a loyal friend or two. And then there are ostentatious displays of this. Maybe your sad widowed uncle, who is angry and heavy-footed and who doesn't even pretend to care or be interested in others at the holiday table, has a devoted friend, his own Bibi Rebozo, and even finds a girlfriend in late life, in a bar, a church, a convalescent home. His default assumption is that the world is mean and you need to stand up to it with suspicion fueled by fury. Don't put your weapons down for a minute because they'll get you, he'll say. And he doesn't even bother covering up what's deep inside of him and most of us. Fear and greed and laziness. Mine, mine, mine. Then he shows up one miraculous day with a very sweet girlfriend, and at their cheapskate wedding, when they dance, he holds her delicately. In their little circle of privacy, this is sacred ground. And just to end here with a quote, another quote from Lamont. Almost everything will work again if you unplug it for a few minutes, including you. Just reminds me of when I get very frustrated with my computer and start making growl sounds and yelling at it. My husband says, well, did you try to reboot? And I go, oh, yeah, that's always the answer. And it usually is. I reboot, and 95% of the time, it works again. So maybe it's time we need to unplug or reboot, and it'll all start to work again. Have a great day.